Okay, hello everyone. Ang lecture natin ngayon tungkol sa Psikolohiyang Pilipino. Pag-uusapan natin yung culture and psyche. Yan ang title ng lecture natin for today. Marami akong sasabihin dito is based on this book by Rogelia Pepua. So I highly recommend yung mga naghahanap dyan ng source para sa mga nagtitake ng Psikolohiyang Pilipino. This is a good book to read. So balik tayo sa title natin, let's first discuss the term psyche. Lalong-lalo na kapag psych major ka, mahalaga na dapat alam na alam mo anong ibig sabihin ng psyche. Okay? And then later, i-connect natin yan sa issue ng culture. So the first thing you have to know about the psyche is this is the non-physical aspect that we study in the field of psychology. Kaya kapag ikaw, psych major, or psychology major, ano ang mini-major mo? Yung non-physical aspect of the human being, which is, in a more familiar term, another term for psyche is spirit. So kapag sinabi mo yung psychology, which by the way, the term psyche in the word psychology, yan yon. Okay? So it is the scientific study of the spirit. So when you say you are a psych major, pareho lang yan in saying that you are a spirit major, which means magaling ka sa mga usapin tungkol sa spirit. Kaya nga ang implication nito, if you are a psych major, I think I discussed this in some of my lectures, ang implication is if you're a psych major, dapat believer ka ng spirit. You need to be a believer of the supernatural world. Because if you don't, tapos psych major ka, mahirapan ka talagang i-appreciate yung field mo. So if you are a psychology major, you have to accept that you are studying something non-physical which belongs to the supernatural world. Okay? Now, ano ang biblical basis natin for the term psyche? Babalik tayo sa book of Genesis. This is the account of the creation. Then the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground. Pause right there. If you can see, hindi pa buhay ang tao when God formed our body from the dust of the ground. Nabuhay lang yung katawan ng tao that God formed when the psyche or the spirit, or in the language of Genesis, the breath of life entered the body. So nung pumasok na yung spirit, yung psyche doon sa katawan ng tao na ginawa ng Diyos, doon lang tayo naging living being. So it is not our body that makes us alive, it is our spirit or psyche that defines our existence. And I would believe that Genesis 2:7 is the foundation of psychology. So kung walang Genesis 2:7, in the first place, wala tayong psychology na dapat pag-aralan. Okay? So yan yung ibig sabihin ng term na psyche in its original term. Now, this psyche that I'm talking about is further divided into different components. So yung non-physical part na yan ng pagkatao is consists of thinking, emotions, and actions. And again, ito yung mga bagay na pinag-aaralan natin in the field of psychology. Kapag psychology major ka, magaling ka sa mga issues or topics na may kinalaman sa pag-iisip, sa emosyon, at sa mga actions ng isang tao. So that's what it means to be a psych major. So for example, no, to just give you an example how these three are expressed, why would a person become optimistic? Paano nagiging optimistic ang tao? Anong epekto sa isang tao kapag siya ay optimistic? Yan, mga questions yan na kayang sagutin dapat ng isang psych major because optimism is a matter of thinking. Pagdating sa emotions, let's say, when you study happiness, what makes people happy? Anong epekto ng happiness sa tao? Pinag-aaralan lahat yan in positive psychology. So if your questions are like that, you want to zoom in the emotion of happiness, then indeed, you are a psych major. Issue ng psychology yan. Or let's say, when it comes to actions, you would like to study why some people love sports. What makes a person love sports? While the other person hates sports. Anong epekto sa isang tao kapag mahilig siya sa sports? Ano yung mga positive psychological effects when a person likes sports? Those questions are again a matter of actions which is under the term psyche, which we study in the field of psychology. So yan ang ibig sabihin kapag sinabi mong psychology major ka. Those are the questions that you are expected to study and answer. So sana naging maliwanag yung term na psyche. Now we connect that to the term culture. Anong kinalaman ng culture sa psyche? Pag-usapan natin anong ibig sabihin ng culture. This is the APA definition of culture. Just like the psyche, culture is something non-physical in the form of ideas. So, hindi mo mahahawakan ang kultura, pero pwede mo siyang ma-observe, pwede mo rin siyang ma-experience. So, according to the APA dictionary, culture are values and concepts which are, again, consistent with the idea, with the form of ideas. Mga form of ideas to, abstract, hindi nahahawakan, that are the basis for everyday behaviors and practices. So, lahat ng nangyayari inside our mind, lahat ng bagay na nararamdaman natin at ginagawa natin in our everyday environment can be explained by the culture that we have internalized. Using computer analogy, think of culture as our software. Software natin yan na naka-install sa atin. And that software makes us functional beings. Parang laptop or computer. Kapag may laptop, computer, walang software, walang kwenta. Diba? Ganun din sa tao. Meron kang katawan pero wala kang software, walang culture na naka-internalize sa'yo, then you cease to be functional. So it's very important na meron tayong kultura na naka-quote-unquote install within our psyche. Okay? Or another idea that may help you remember the term culture is a set of instructions on how the psyche ought to be. Paano dapat mag-isip? Ano ang mga emotions dapat na nararamdaman? Ano yung mga actions na dapat mong ginagawa in different situations in the environment that is determined by the culture that you have internalized. That's how important culture is. Hindi magiging functional yung psyche natin kung walang kultura na nagga-guide doon sa psyche. So to put that in a visual representation, it looks something like this. So culture is our software, set of instructions how to. May epekto yan sa psyche natin, which is again non-physical. Yung culture na yan, merong epekto yan sa the way we think, what we feel, and our actions. Yan, as you can see. So kung anong klaseng kultura yung na-internalize mo, yan yung klase ng thinking, emotions, and actions that you're going to express in our everyday world. In the most simplest example, no? Ito, medyo trivial pero it makes sense. Halimbawa, mahilig ka sa color blue. Pero yung kultura na nakapaligid sa'yo, yung pinapa-install ng kultura sa'yo is color yellow. Ano mangyayari? It's just a matter of time before you move from color blue papuntang color yellow. Kasi yun na ngayon yung kultura na ma-internalize mo which will affect your actions or even your preference. Now, you connect that to Filipino culture. Diba? Bakit ang mga Pilipino, meron tayong mga patterns na madalas nating ginagawa in our society? Marami mga Pilipino nagkakamay, nagmamano sa mga matatanda, nagsasabi ng po and opo. Kapag kausap yung mas matanda sa kanila, bakit tayo ganyan? Kasi yan yung kultura na na-internalize doon sa psyche natin. I hope you got the point, no? So the reason why we are doing all this quote-unquote Filipino actions is because of the Filipino culture that we have internalized. Now, one more thing about culture, ihabol ko lang to, ang kultura is not and it's never inborn. Walang tao ang pinanganak na nung pinanganak siya, meron na siyang kultura na naka-install. It is 100% socially transmitted or in a more anthropological term, ini-internalize yung kultura na nai-install in our psyche. Sino ang nag-i-install ng kultura sa psyche natin? Sino ang nagtra-transmit ng kultura? Itong mga to. Usually, they are the different groups that surround us as we continue our existence in a society. Nandyan yung pamilya natin, andyan yung kaibigan, media, church, and school. These groups combine to help internalization or to guide internalization para matuto tayo ng Filipino culture or whatever culture you have. Etong mga grupo na to nagtutulong-tulungan para ma-install yung culture na dapat meron tayo in our psyche. So bakit ang mga Pilipino nagkakamay? Bakit ang mga Pilipino nagpopo at opo? Yan. Bakit? Sino nag-internalize ng mga yon? Eto. Paulit-ulit, itong mga grupo na to, tinuturo sa atin yung different aspects of the Filipino culture. Pero ihabol ko lang, no, yung installation or internalization of a culture, hindi lang siya limited lagi sa isang group. Although malaki ang tulong ng group in instilling a culture in us, it's not exclusively only by a group, kasi pwede ka rin makapag-internalize ng isang kultura galing sa isang tao. Pwede rin naman yon. Like for example, hindi ka naman dating naninigarilyo. Meron kang best friend na naninigarilyo. Your best friend is enough to pass you or to transmit to you smoking culture. So hindi dapat laging grupo yung nandyan para ma-install sa yung isang kultura. Best friend mo lang, kapatid mo lang, pwede nang mag-introduce sa'yo ng isang culture. Although again, in most textbooks kasi, when we talk about culture, it's always coming from a large group of individuals. But let me repeat, it's not exclusively group-oriented. Pwede ring mapasa ang kultura to another person via one-on-one interaction. Kaya mag-ingat din kayo sa mga tao sa paligid ninyo, no? Hindi porket isa lang yung taong kinakausap mo, hindi porket isa lang yung tao na laging ka-interact mo, wala na siyang influence sa'yo. Because there are certain people, kahit siya lang yung kausap mo, very influential, you end up absorbing that culture that person has. Liwanag. So, one more thing about culture, other than it's not or it's never inborn, dapat nating matandaan na ang kultura can also be a basis of our national identity. Ito, very connected na to sa psikolohiyang Pilipino. Isa kasi sa mga issues in psikolohiyang Pilipino, sino ba ang Pilipino? Sino ba ang kinakount natin na Pilipino? And there are many answers to that question. One obvious answer to that question, sino ba ang Pilipino, is through ancestry or race. Kapag meron kang dugong Pilipino, kapag ang physical features mo pang Pilipino, then you are a Filipino. Another definition is geography. Pilipino ka kapag pinanganak ka sa teritoryo ng Pilipinas, also known as citizenship. So meron kang Filipino citizenship, so it follows that you are a Filipino. So that's another way of answering the question, sino ang Pilipino? Pero sa psikolohiyang Pilipino, the definition that we accept in terms of who counts as Filipino, wala dito sa dalawa. Although we acknowledge that these two can happen, sa psikolohiyang Pilipino, we define Filipino as someone who identifies to the Filipino culture and prefers to apply Filipino culture in his or her everyday existence. Ito yung mga taong tinatawag nating Filipino by heart. Okay? Pilipino ka kapag pine-prefer mo na mamuhay gamit ang Filipino culture. Ang tawag ko dyan, ako lang yung gumawa ng term na to, no? It's culture-based Filipinoship. Identifying as Filipino via internalization and expression of Filipino culture. Okay? So if you notice, kapag ito yung ginamit nating definition ng pagka-Pilipino, this definition will transcend a person's race and geography. Ibig sabihin, kahit yung katawan mo pang-Amerikano, racially you are an American, you are a Caucasian, pero kapag prefer mo ang Filipino culture at yan yung ginagamit mo to function in your environment, mga gawaing Pilipino, thinking patterns ng mga Pilipino, then masasabi natin na Pilipino ka pa rin. Or even geography. So, hindi porket hindi ka pinanganak sa Pilipinas, let's say, pinanganak ka sa Canada, so hindi ka Filipino citizen. Pero sa Canada, ito pa rin yung pinapractice mong kultura. Pang-Pilipino pa rin. Kung paano ka magsalita, Pilipino. Yung values mo, Pilipino. Yung behavioral patterns mo, Filipino. Ibig sabihin nun, Pilipino ka pa rin, kahit hindi ka Filipino citizen. This is the kind of definition na tinatanggap at ginagamit sa psikolohiyang Pilipino. So when you take your psikolohiyang Pilipino classes, Now you know that every time your teacher talks about Filipinos, sino ang mga Filipinos na i-discuss natin sa Psikolohiyang Pilipino? Ang sagot, those people who practices Filipino culture. Okay? So, hindi lang nakakulong yung pagka-Pilipino sa race mo or sa citizenship mo. So, yan ngayon yung term na culture. Alright? Now, after all these things that I'm saying about culture and the psyche, ano yung mga applications na pwede nating matutunan from this short lecture? Number one, ang unang application is now we know how to understand Filipinos. Ngayon naiintindihan na natin yung culture and psyche, we can use this knowledge para mas maintindihan natin kung bakit ang mga Pilipino ganyan ang psyche. Ang tawag dito is culture tracing. So, if you want to further understand Filipinos, what do you do? Yan. If you go to this slide, kapag may mga tanong ka tungkol sa mga Pilipino, bakit sila ganon? Bakit tayo ganyan? Bakit ganyan ang mindset ng mga Pilipino? Bakit ganyan ang nangyayari sa sports industry ng mga Pilipino? Bakit ganyan ang nangyayari sa politics natin? Ano nangyayari sa marriage patterns natin? Bakit yung public health natin ganito? Bakit yung government natin ganyan? Those are legitimate psychological questions. So if you go to Psikolohiyang Pilipino, anong method ang ituturo sa atin to answer those questions? We always trace it back to the Filipino culture. So I hope you can see here my picture, no? Kung baga, yung psyche dito is yung pot, yung clay na sineshape. Okay? Kaya naging ganun yung shape niyan kasi merong kultura na humubog doon sa psyche na yon. So para maintindihan natin kung bakit ganyan ang shape ng psyche ng mga Pilipino, there's no other way but to trace it back to the Filipino culture that shape the Filipino psyche. Okay, so again, ang tawag dyan is cultural, ano yun? Nandito, culture tracing. Okay, so yan ang ginagawa sa Psikolohiyang Pilipino. I-analyze natin yung isang aspeto ng Filipino psyche by understanding anong Filipino culture ang makakapagpaliwanag doon. O i-apply nyo to in our everyday society. Kapag meron tayong mga kapwa Pilipino na kinaiinisan, eto, based on my research, ito yung mga tao na talagang maraming mga Pilipino, bad trip. O, kung ipapractice mo yung culture tracing para mas maintindihan sila, ano ang dapat natin gawin? I-trace back natin kung anong kultura ba yung meron sila at naging ganito yung pattern nila. Yan yung tinuturo sa Psikolohiyang Pilipino. Okay, we always trace back to the culture, the current shape of the Filipino psyche. Now, here's a deeper question. How do you do culture tracing? Kasi ang alam lang natin sa culture tracing is yung psyche ipapaliwanag mo sa pamamagitan ng kultura. So in Filipino, in culture tracing, yan ngayon yung isa sa mga ituturo sa Psikolohiyang Pilipino. Isa yan sa mga important subject contents in this subject. But to give you a bird's eye view, no, paano ba ginagawa ang culture tracing in further understanding Filipino psyche, mas lumalalim pa tayo sa discussion when we now ask the question, why is Filipino culture like that? I hope you see the connection. So ulitin natin, saan nanggagaling yung Filipino psyche? Sa Filipino culture. Kaya tayo ganito. Kaya ganito ang mga current events natin, may kinalaman sa Filipino culture. But a deeper question is, saan galing yung Filipino culture? Bakit naging ganyan yung Filipino culture? Ano yung iba't ibang mga forces out there that may explain, that shape, humubog sa current Filipino culture natin? Yan ang sinasagot sa Psikolohiyang Pilipino. Okay? So, number 2, another application now that we know how to better understand Filipinos. Number 2, pwede rin natin gamitin tong lesson na to reinforce Filipino patterns. How to be more Filipino. Kasi marami mga culture experts kayo napapansin, unti-unti raw, lalo na when we talk about the younger generation today, unti-unti na raw nawawala yung pagka-Pilipino ng maraming Pilipino. Okay, at maraming mga reasons dyan like issues of globalization, the internet, Our culture is becoming more and more hybrid. Pag-uusapan natin yan as we go along, but we go back to this question, Pilipino pa rin ba tayo? If we compare the typical Filipino psyche today to a typical Filipino psyche 50 years ago or 100 years ago, masasabi ba nating Pilipino pa rin tayo based on the culture that we are practicing right now? Or unti-unti as time goes by, nawawala na ba yung pagka-Pilipino natin? Now that we know, if we know what makes us Filipinos by studying psikolohiyang Pilipino, yon, pwede natin magawa yung number 2. Kung unti-unti nang lumalabo yung characteristics ng pagiging Pilipino, pero alam natin kung ano yung mga characteristics na yon, then one application is, pwede nating i-revive. I-reinforce natin yung mga patterns that makes us really Filipinos para mas tumindi, para mas lumutang yung Filipino identity, which is very important by the way. Huwag natin ina-underestimate yung kahalagahan na malinaw sa atin yung Filipino identity. Kasi mas malinaw sa atin kung sino tayo, mas malinaw sa atin kung ano ang origin natin, mas umaayos tayo as a nation. Mas nagiging organized, mas nagiging maganda yung mga interactions natin within our society. The more we are aware, the more we are familiar of our Filipino background. Which is, I think, unti-unti na ngang nawawala. At ang nagiging epekto niyan, I hope everyone agrees with me, hindi nagiging maganda. Marami mga negative societal events in the Philippines. Ang root cause, one of the root causes is, nalilimutan na kasi natin kung sino tayo. Unti-unti nalilimutan na natin kung paano ang maging Pilipino. And this is one of the goals of this subject. Ipaalala sa mga students what makes us Filipinos and to further reinforce those qualities para mas ma-practice natin yung mga pagka-Pilipino natin. And last one, number 3, last application of this lesson is, now we know how to improve Filipino psyche. Kapag pinag-aralan kasi natin in a deeper level yung Filipino culture, magkakaroon ngayon tayo ng idea kung paano natin mas mapapaganda or mapapa-improve yung Filipino culture. Now, whenever I use the word improve, it means there is something wrong. Merong pangit, kaya nga improve . Ibig sabihin ng improve, may proseso, yung pangit, pagagandahin. And let me just remind everyone listening to me right now, lalong-lalo na yung mga nag-aaral ng psikolohiyang Pilipino, very big reminder, very important, hindi porket culture, ibig sabihin, tama. Yan kasi yung tinuturo sa atin ng popular psychology. Just because something is cultural, it means it's correct, it needs to be respected. I beg to disagree. Hindi porket kultura ang isang pattern, ibig sabihin, tama. Kaya nga may nagpaalala sa atin dito, if you can see, wrong is wrong, even if everyone is doing it, right is right, even if no one is doing it. Merong mga cultural practices, may mga cultural patterns na pangit, hindi maganda, dapat i-correct. Let me remind you, right and wrong cultures exist. Not all cultures ought to be respected. That's a very controversial statement. And many students in the past that I've had, marami sa kanila galit sa akin because I've mentioned this, but this is the truth. When it comes to cultural matters, yes, meron tayong leeway, meron tayong space for respect. Let's agree to disagree with certain things. Pero, not all aspects of culture dapat agree to disagree tayo. Merong mga aspeto yung mga kultura na dapat klarong-klaro kung ano yung tama at mali. Kaya nga sabi ko dito, right and wrong cultures exist. Hindi porket culture ang issue, sasabihin na lang natin, irespeto natin irespeto na lang natin sila kasi kultura naman nila yon. Paano kung yung kultura nila klarong mali? Right? Culture of corruption is wrong. Culture of murder is wrong. Culture of injustice is wrong. So what do we do with those kinds of culture? We don't tolerate it. We don't just accept it. We need to correct it. Yun yung ibig sabihin ko dito ng not all cultures ought to be respected. Let's agree to disagree na masarap ang steak para sa mga Amerikano, pero mas masarap ang sisig para sa mga Pilipino. Okay yun. Kasi hindi naman niya natatouch yung isang moral absolute But when we talk about issues na tungkol sa morality, tungkol sa absolute truth, hindi tamang sabihin na lahat ng pananaw ng different cultures tama. Kasi ang pagiging tama at mali ng mga bagay sa buhay, hindi nakadepende yan kung ano ang culture. What's right and what's wrong is independent of cultural norm. Meron tayong absolute measure, meron tayong absolute standard of what's right and wrong. Some cultures are close to that standards, some cultures are far away from that standards. Like, let me give some other examples of wrong culture. The Bible is very clear about this. Ito yung gusto ko sa Bible. Napakalinaw kung ano ba yung mga cultural practices na mali, na dapat pinapalitan, na dapat binabago. Right? In 2 Timothy, inisa-isa dyan. Kung ano yung mga cultural practices na hindi tama. Basahin nyo na lang on your own. Like what? Being a lover of money, being a lover of yourself, the culture of boasting, the culture of being unforgiving, the culture of being brutal, so on and so forth. Everything that you can see here, pwede kong masabi, these are unhealthy cultural practices na dapat palitan, na dapat layuan. Connected yan sa sinasabi ni Paul dito sa Romans when he said, do not conform to the pattern of this world. Yung pattern of this world dito, he's talking about culture na hindi maganda, such as this one. Kung gusto mong umayos yung psychological life mo, huwag mong i-internalize yung mga cultural patterns na yan. That's what he meant by do not conform. Because these cultural practices, these patterns are wrong given our spiritual nature. Kung may wrong culture, siyempre merong right culture. So anong itsura ng right culture? Ito naman yung pinopromote ni Paul sa Romans. So kayo na lang magbasa from verse 14 to 16. Everything that you see here, I would say, it's the healthy and correct culture. Basta ang bottom line lang dito is, when it comes to culture, merong wrong culture, merong right culture. And if we want to improve as a society, as a human being, in the individual level, we have to let go of this, change this, and replace this with the right culture. In fact, meron akong trivia in connection to having wrong culture and right culture. Did you know na the more wrong culture that you internalize and you practice in your everyday life, the poorer your mental health becomes? And I have data for this. I can go the entire day to lecture about this. Unfortunately, we don't have enough time. Pero gamitin nyo lang yung mga logic ninyo. Isipin nyo yung 7 deadly sins, which are different patterns that are prohibited in the Bible. Now, isipin nyo, bakit ang Bible pinagbabawal yung 7 deadly sins na yan? Is it because God is killjoy? No. The very reason why the 7 deadly sins are prohibited is because these are not good things for our psyche. These are things that are not meant to be done by spiritual beings like us, created in the image of God. Kaya siya tinawag na 7 deadly sins. It kills you the more you do this. Again, I have data for this. Gagawa ako ng lecture series dito, how each of these deadly sins negatively affect our mental health. Pero logic pa lang Hindi mo kinakailangan ng data para makonclude mo na indeed, these sins are not good for our psyche. Imagine nyo na lang, araw-arawin mo i-apply yung lust sa buhay mo. Mula September 1 hanggang September 30, walang mintis, apply lust. Apply gluttony, apply greed, sloth, wrath, envy, pride. Araw-arawin mo yan for the next 30 days. Ang prediction ko, maya-maya, nasa DSM-5 ka na. The more you apply this, the more you destroy your relationships with others, the more you destroy your thinking patterns, you destroy your emotions, which will all lead to mental disorders. Kaya may psychological reason ang Bible to say that these things are sins that we need to avoid. I hope that's clear. No? So the more you apply this wrong culture, gawin mong kultura mo yung lust, gawin mong kultura yung pride, mental health suffers because again, we are not meant to function like this. Being spiritual beings created in the image of God, we need to avoid this wrong culture. Kaya nga, babalik ako doon sa third application ko. Going back to that slide, kailangan, kung gusto nating mag-improve as a nation, ito yung dapat nating gawin. Identify natin ano yung mga Filipino cultures na klarong-klarong mali. Let go natin yon, palitan natin ng tama. Because ako personally as a teacher of Psikolohiyang Pilipino, isa yan sa mga problema na nakikita ko in our current culture. Bakit ang dami-dami nating mga negative things that we see in our society? Ako ang sagot ko dyan, meron tayong spiritual problem. The Filipino culture, more and more, is what? Becoming godless. Godlessness is a very serious problem. As time goes by, i-analyze mo yung Filipino culture, unti-unti lumalayo tayo from God. Godlessness is a very serious cultural problem. And that's the sad fact, no? Na yung maraming mga Pilipino, maraming mga cultural practices sa mga Pilipino papasok sa 7 deadly sins, yet we consider it popular, we even consider it legal. And we suffer the consequences. Biruin mo yun, ninormalize mo yung 7 deadly sins, yung iba nilegalize pa yung 7 deadly sins, at sa ngayon, meron pang mga moves sa Kongreso at Senado na gustong illegalize, gawing legal yung mga deadly sins dito. Oh my goodness. We suffer the consequences. Kaya natin nakikita yung mga yan in our society. Bakit ang taas ng corruption natin? Bakit bumababa yung kalidad ng learning sa Pilipinas? Bakit tumataas ang teenage pregnancy? Tinalo pa natin yung buong ASEAN nations. Bakit pataas ang pataas yung HIV cases in the Philippines that even the World Health Organization is so disturbed? They're so concerned about this increase, about this event in our public health. Bakit? Ang sagot ko dyan, it's because we have a cultural problem. And what's that cultural problem? Let me repeat, more and more, as time goes by, Filipinos are becoming more and more godless. Or in a more psychologically inclined term, Filipino spirituality unti-unting bumababa. Alright? And I hope by studying Psikolohiyang Pilipino, this subject can help you identify those bad cultures, let go of those bad cultures, and replace it with better cultures para mag-improve yung Filipino psyche and Filipino society in general. Alright? So sana marami kayong natutunan sa short lecture natin on culture and the psyche. If you have any questions or comments, ilagay nyo lang dyan sa comment section. Sir Howard here. Until next time, God bless everyone. Bye-bye.